We got him in here.
Oh, and he arrived in a puff of smoke.
I know. What is going on? I mean, your magic powers do come to the land.
Oh, God. I'm not ready for
There
these
you are.
incredible
There you are.
jokes yet.
Oh, darling, you're just getting started. But I want to tell everybody who we got in during our Just Talking segment. We got actor Daniel O'Reilly, and he's also the co-founder of Quagmire Filmz.
Quagmire Filmz, yeah.
And Daniel, just to kind of start this off, tell the listeners, who are you?
Oh God, what do you want to know about?
Well, what I would say
am
is,
I?
my first thing is, I know originally you used to be this ex-news reporter,
Yeah.
football player.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing is, what made you trek your way from the East Coast to the West Coast to become this actor you are now?
Well, it started in the East Coast. I moved to Chicagoland when I was 10. Dad got a job, and I think the football was high school, college, played a little semi-pro, split my head open and quit the next morning.
Smart.
Yeah.
My dad was a pro football player.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So it has a lot of head injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you got your head checked, and
Yeah.
then you ended up deciding.
Well, I never got
And then
checked. I went back
that's
in
why
the
you
game.
became an actor.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You get, your head gets knocked off, and then there goes all your brains, and next thing you know, you're.
I'm going to be a
you're an
news
actor.
reporter.
Yeah.
Here I come, CBS. A few years later, I'm out in Colorado doing the 5 and 10 Saturday,
Nice.
Sundays for CBS,
Wow.
and that was nuts. And then I got it injured snowboarding. On
You're a
my day
snowboarder?
off.
I'm a snowboarder.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Nice.
Not anymore.
That's
You're
usually
such, okay, your pattern of life, it looks like you're a quitter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you quit
By
football.
drastic injury. There's a difference in quitting and being flat in
That's
pain.
true.
Addicted to pills and vodka for 5 months.
Yeah, I probably don't want to do any of that.
No.
But the craziest part
I'm
was
hammered right now.
Yeah, I know.
Join the party.
And I drove here.
But the craziest part is you're all cleaned up, and you've been cleaned up for a while. And the first time I met you was on a short film, Unto Us All,
this is-
and you were the scariest, gruesome cannibalism man that I've ever seen in my
That's
life.
awesome.
And I'm looking at this dude this guy is so serious about his role. But then when you go to talk to him off camera.
Yeah.
You were the biggest goofball ever. Yeah, right. And it was a little intimidating.
So
if
then
I had a killer that was talking to me like that, I'd
Right.
probably get a little bit more
I
intimidated.
just had dirt in my face, Gatorade in my hair, and
Right.
Gatorade in your
literally
head.
just.
That's-
And it's so incredible
I
to
wanted
see.
to look disgusting. I pulled it off. I think.
But it's incredible to see where you are, where you were at before when I first met you to now. And I just couldn't stop laughing because I went, my program director, Sona, we went out and saw Aladdin with Will Smith.
Went out and saw you went to your
No.
living room.
No, we actually saw it at the movie theaters because it's not out yet.
Oh, at that
He's talking about
talking
the
about the Will
Smith one,
Smith version.
not
that-
yours.
that-
Sorry.
Not the Robin Williams. No, but that's what I was trying to get at because the funny part is,
How dare you?
How dare you?
how dare
Will Smith and Robin Williams they will never belong in the same universe. Just-
That's true. Hey, but did you
I
see
love
the
Will
new?
Smith,
Did you
though.
see
Me
the new
too.
film?
What's that?
The
new-
Will Smith one?
I loved it.
I thought it was
It
good.
was great. They tried to go second for second from the animated
Right.
version. I'm like, that's cool.
I was
Yeah.
really
Hard
to
impressed.
do, but-
I was really impressed with how Will Smith actually didn't try to be what Robin Williams was, and I think I actually really respected him for doing that.
Well, he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also known on making stuff his.
Yeah.
He is. I love him.
all
as an
these
actor.
cool rap kind of
And he does
verses
all
that were
kinds of
happening that
different
you don't
stuff.
usually hear. But my biggest thing is with you. You were Jafar
Yes.
in the Adventures of Aladdin,
So
Yes.
awesome.
which is made from a production company called Asylum Pictures.
Asylum.
Which is hilarious. So, can you explain to the listeners a little bit about what Asylum Pictures do and what they're kind of known for?
Well, whenever Hollywood makes a very wonderful big movie, well, for example, like Aladdin, Transformers, Titanic. They even did a Titanic.
Wait, they did a Titanic.
Yeah, like way
I
back
have
when.
got to see
That's
that.
so funny.
Yeah.
I was so in love with Leonardo DiCaprio from the Titanic, so now I have to see it.
So they get together like around $500 and go make a knockoff. It's-
$500?
No, it's
Oh,
a
I was
little
like-
more than that.
Okay.
It's just everything's low production quality.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on it because I love working and it's
Yeah.
fun.
Right.
And I got to play Jafar.
No, it's hilarious. I
So-
was
It was-
very much impressed with this Hollywood Mockbuster because if you see the latest film first and then go and see your guys' film, you just die laughing because you guys are so serious, but you're so good at it. And everything's so politically incorrect in this film, which I absolutely
know it.
loved.
I
And
know it.
you know,
And that was a good jab at Disney trying to
It was
make
funny.
it politically politically correct, and then turned around. And it was kind of great while they cast an Middle Eastern Arab descent. He's Egyptian, not Arab.
Yeah.
He's Egyptian for the Aladdin, but the princess is like white and Indian.
Yeah.
And like as a white person, like you kind of had that like, oh, but it's still the same skin color.
But
and it's like that's
right.
and it's wrong, and it's completely wrong. And I love that Asylum was kind of like poking at that.
I think
a
they're
little
poking
bit, so
fun
that
at
was
Guy
great.
Ritchie a little
I
bit
tried
because
to get the hashtag white Jafar going, but it all ended up with I got about 500 new followers from the
I
Middle
guess
East.
that's a real question. Like,
Your accent was so funny.
but
I loved it so much.
can we hear a little bit of Jafar in the studio?
No.
No.
Go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. Okay, fine.
Go rip it off the internet like everyone else
my
did.
sound cue? While you're talking, I'm going to look for it in a
Well,
break.
the craziest part about it is that I'd love to ask you, because in your point in your career in acting, why Jafar now out of anything?
I didn't. It wasn't my choice.
Really?
No. Well, I was on Christmas break.
Okay.
And my agent calls me. He's like, "Hey, when do you get back?" I'm like, "This weekend." It was like 2 days before I was coming back. He's like, "Well, just send a tape in.
Okay.
We're gonna do a tape. Can you make a tape?" I'm like, "What is it?" I'm like, "Well, it's Jafar." I'm like, "What? You know Asylum?" I'm like, "Oh my God, really?"
Yeah, right.
I'm like, "All right, fine. Why not?"
Yeah.
So I made the tape, sent it in, and then I go to the callback in the studio, and there's 25 Arab and Latino guys in there, like 20 years older.
Right.
And then this white guy in the
20
corner.
years younger.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny
You
how
have a line in the movie where you're trying to convince Aladdin to go into the cave to get the. And I started laughing because you're like, yeah, it's just because I'm just so old now. I can't do it. And I think you look almost younger than Aladdin did. I'm just like dying laughing because the way you delivered it was just like, oh, it's like my back. Oh, I can't do it.
well, that's such a
I
great
tried to get a little lean, a little injured look. Like, unfortunately, there are things in this cave which I cannot contend with at my old age. Blah, blah. Here's a rope, a magic rope.
a magic rope.
It looks like crap.
But that's the funny part about it when you're watching this film, because I sort of giggled a little bit when they mentioned that Aladdin was based off in Baghdad. And then I had to do a little bit more research, because when I was my Robin Williams days, it was a made-up city called Aragba, and I was waiting to hear that. And then I had to do some research, and I guess the original Disney treatment for the Will Smith film, the first one, they originally were going to place it in Baghdad, but they backed out at the last second because the Gulf War happened, and I guess they didn't want to get into
A little
that
too
whole
volatile. at
Yeah,
the time.
a little political.
So I think it's funny that like you're watching the film and you see like buildings that look like the Taj Mahal.
Oh,
and
and ours?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all CGI.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
Like
pretty
we
awesome.
shot half the movie in like a janitor closet.
Really?
They're like, hey, we got some colorful garments. Just hang them over the wall, and like the opening. I don't want to give away their magical secrets over at Asylum. But
I loved when they're like the opening scene. So there's like fire on the tents, right? And then the fire disappears. Like I was like, where did the fire go? Like the Aladdin kicks the. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna give away
Yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff. Kicks away some stuff. But like this like whole like tents are supposed to be on fire, and it like magically disappeared, and nobody references it again.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
awesome.
I just thought it was genius, and then I thought it was so cool that you guys actually got a special plug from Vice that actually
Yeah.
kind of followed you guys during the pre-production and production
Yeah.
phase. And the one thing I was totally blown away with was the director, Glenn Campbell, how he only spent a week writing this script.
him and his girl Tammy.
Yeah.
I love them, by the way. Glenn Campbell, and he's like a CGI guru. He worked
Oh.
George Lucas Films. Like,
Gotcha.
Like you can't tell by the finished product here because they went from 9 or 10 weeks originally in post to
Right.
like 2.
Oh wow!
So like the first
Fast
ideas they
turnaround.
sent, here's my idea for the dragon and this and that. I'm like, use it. We're done.
Right.
Move on to the next film because they just pump out, movies. They do like 4 movies a month and everything.
Yeah, and you
What
were
was the question?
No, but I was kind of. No, I said it was amazing with
So about
Glenn
Quagmire.
Campbell about being 1 week in. No, about Quagmire.
Please, God.
Okay, you know what?
No, I'm kidding. Let's
I
talk
was-
more about Aladdin. The HBO.
No,
And they were interviewing everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I? Because I know they're going to tear Asylum apart. Like,
Yeah.
because all the real studios are like, why do you do this?
But then again, you said, I don't want to promote the person that stripped the film onto YouTube, but that your guys' film has 1 million views on it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've noticed that.
Wow.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That is a huge market. And I guess my biggest thing with you is it's like, really, like, why not have Asylum Pictures? I guess my real question is, You always notice that Asylum gets away with all these films, like you noticed. You said before, Titanic. You got the Transformers.
Well, they go after they research the copyright, because it's originally some 17th century Asian folklore.
Oh, yeah, because I don't know, I can't remember the incident, but a couple of years ago, there was K through 12 teachers who wanted to put Disney characters in their classrooms, but then they get attacked by Disney about putting their characters up on there.
Disney's the reason why copyrights are over 100 years now. Do you know that? Every time Disney's copyrights come up, a new law is passed in to extend it another 25 years. So it just happened a few years back. Dude, Disney is so gangster.
They own the world.
They do. And they're gangster. And I go to their parks because I love them.
Right.
And I love Donald Duck. But every time for the copyrights, it's crushing art. Like, it really is, because you can't then rip it off, change it, move with our society.
But I think a lot of us are getting upset with remakes, and I think the best part about Hollywood Mockbusters are you actually are being the voice for us, by saying, because I don't know about yourself, do you get excited when you hear these remakes are happening? Because I know, because the one biggest debate right now, the Little Mermaid. And I just have to ask you this question because it seems like, Ariel, we got
I made this hilarious
Holly Bailey
post about it. I'm like, White Jafar loves it. And I'm like,
White Jafar loves the movement.
Yeah, the move. Absolutely. I remember asking them.
You made a meme of this? Did you make a meme?
I did, some weird.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go stalk you. It's a Twitter. I'm gonna have to stalk one of your things and find it because that is so funny.
No, that's true. I mean, you heard it here first on the Chris Collins Show. White Jafar approves of the new Little Mermaid.
I love it.
So that is a really big deal. Yeah. But I think a lot of people forget that the Little Mermaid came out in 1992, or that was Aladdin, and then Mermaid, I believe, was 89. So a lot of these films, they're not as old as people think. So why do you think a lot of people out there get so triggered, I guess, when they see new change happening to their beloved stories?
I just think they're just a little older. And you can just create literally anything.
Yeah.
And you can be 10 years old and do so.
Right.
And you can put it out there.
Yeah, and I think one of the differences, for the movie you did, it was a spoof, a satire. I mean, that's you can do a lot more. And the Little Mermaid is a made-up character, so she can
They're
literally.
all made up, though.
Well, no, but you're not with an ethnicity. I mean, literally, the mermaids can be anything. Doesn't matter. But I even heard that versus if you're coming from an actual geographical point of view. So that's where Disney was getting in trouble with Aladdin, where they don't have that issue with a fantastical creature that is made up.
Right.
That's why when people are getting mad about having a black Ariel, you're like, once again, mermaids really don't exist in a geographical location.
But you can take mermaid swimming lessons.
Just on that note.
That is the thing?
You can. On that note, I thought it was a beautiful thing.
Was that a segue into something?
That was a segue into a commercial break.
Nailed it.
Wow.
But I gotta tell everybody, we got actor Daniel O'Reilly. He's in the studio. He is White Jafar in the Adventures of Aladdin. And he is also the co-founder of Quagmire Filmz. This is phenomenal. Don't forget, you're listening to the Chris Collins Show. We'll be right back. All right. We are back. This is the Chris Collins Show, and we got actor Daniel O'Reilly and also co-founder of Quagmire Filmz.
Yes.
But this is exciting because we actually got a fan question. I know.
You found a fan?
We found a fan.
You paid some
you
student.
You had one.
We paid a student.
Yeah.
To post a submission. Okay, are you ready? This is from Nadal. His Instagram handle is NadalB. Have you ever worked with a co-star that was so good looking you forgot your lines?
Oh, that's a good one.
No.
Really?
End of that.
Have you ever looked at yourself on camera
and forgot your own lines?
What do you look at myself? How do you do that? While I'm in the middle of a scene,
exactly.
I just happen to see a mirror and be like, "Oh, look at me!"
From the corner of your eye, you see your reflection from the lens, and you're like, "Well, hello there."
Right.
My name is Daniel.
Because I can only imagine, because you're such a beautiful looking dude that I would be so starstruck by looking at yourself, right?
Well, I think Chris would like you to sign his arm.
His arm.
That was very politically correct. Thank you, Marissa, because we would love to be on the air next week. But you know what? You got this whole new project that you've been starting with a couple of your friends, Quagmire Filmz.
Yes.
And I am just absolutely in love with it. I mean, you guys' first video debut when you guys were talking about moving and just that luxury. I thought about my brothers during that
Yeah.
scene, less about my friends. And it's just so hysterical. And can you explain to the listeners about what you guys are trying to go for with Quagmire Filmz?
Well, it started out as like, hey, we all need content. We need work. We need repetition. We need to get blah, blah, blah. Because I just believe getting on set and doing those kinds of things are far more, you just learn a lot more than just going to class.
Right.
Yes.
Class doesn't teach you nerves. And getting, executing in front of a camera with, 50 people watching you do stuff. And so not that we have 50
Right.
crew members, but we usually have a decent crew. We have sound. And
Are you a trained actor by any chance, or did it just come all natural?
I do. Like for the first 5 years in LA, that's all I did. Intensive,
Okay.
intensive. And then after 5 years passed, like, all right, I'm confident in what I'm doing.
What do you kind of learn from that, though? Like somebody like an actor and actress that's kind of listening in, that's kind of hearing those kind of steps that you took, obviously coming into Hollywood and doing your thing and taking those classes. Is there something that you got from it that, that really sticks with you?
Like from the classes?
Yeah, or
It's
something
really
that,
just
or do you more recognize yourself, I guess? in the
It's
end?
really, you got to transform yourself. You got to get out of your own way.
What if?
Drop your ego and just really bare your soul.
Right.
Otherwise, you're acting. It's funny how we're actors, and when someone says I'm acting, I get mad. I don't really hear it much anymore, but when my coach would be like, "You're acting,"
Yeah. You're like, oh, why?
I will kill you. It just takes time, and
I think that's kind of how Quagmire Filmz got started on a level. I mean, you could just tell that you guys are all so relaxed in your work, and you
Yeah.
all are loving and so passionate about what you guys are creating. And I think that's so cool that you have such a strong bond, because I just started, because I've been following you guys on Quagmire, and then when I watched Aladdin, I noticed that you had some of your own peers from that film come in on a
Yeah.
couple segments.
They're
I thought that's
so funny.
Cool.
Yeah, well, Darwish, who's played by Havan, who
Okay.
was my scene partner in that couch.
Yeah.
He's an excellent young writer. It's going to be someone to
Yeah.
reckon with pretty
Oh,
soon.
that's
exciting.
cool.
He's,
Is
like,
there-
I
he's
love
awesome.
that. I love seeing like friends and people I know like just catapulting forward. Like it makes me so happy.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because especially since us young millennials, we're always trying to get our niche to try to get something going, get something moving. And if you want to find that perfect example, you better be following Quagmire Filmz real quick.
Okay,
And it ends with the Z.
there was a fart one you guys did. You know the one about the grandma farting, and I'm gonna. You posted it. Like it was one of your
Oh.
things. Yes. Hello.
Well, we were like talking about an
Yes.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah,
And we shot that.
That's
It
so
It was a
funny.
guy and a girl come home from a party, and she just farts at the party.
Yes.
And he's like, honey, really? You got to do this? You got to fart? You got to, honey, it's natural. So we actually shot that. We just took a look at it the other day, and it's
No, it was
hilarious,
so
but-
funny because I have a phobia with farting. No, I really do. I cannot
Okay.
stand farts. My father was insane. If we ever farted, we had to sit on the toilet for hours to go to the bathroom. No, it's like my brothers, all of us have this phobia of farting. So anytime we hear someone fart, like me and my brothers,
It's a
like
trigger.
we freak out. It's a total trigger. And we're like, why would you do that? Do you have to go to the bathroom? You can't just leave the room. So I was totally connecting with your character on the whole farting.
Farting's awesome.
It's amazing what kind of impact Quagmire Films can
Yeah.
bring to
Changing
the viewers.
lives.
It really
Trigger.
does change
Don't be
lives.
afraid to fart.
Don't be afraid to fart.
Let me look right down the barrel here. You kids out there that just want to fart in class. Fart in a traffic stop.
Fart at a
Fart during sex.
Yes.
Farting kills
Yeah.
the planet.
And I'm talking to women only on all those things. Gas. Gas is sexy.
Just let it out.
Just let me smell you.
But tell me, Daniel. I mean,
I like to give.
I like to give. He likes to give back, listeners.
I
And
like to
mean,
give
that's
it.
the one thing I gotta respect you with.
Chris,
man.
have you smelt Daniel's farts? Is that why you're best buddies?
You
Who
should
did-
be getting something in the next 4 seconds.
That's true. My compensation's been waiting for me.
Still waiting on my parking reimbursement.
If you fart, you'll be waiting on it a very long time.
Yeah, true, right?
Let me suck that back in.
Right. But I don't know if you want to let any of the listeners know right now, is there any kind of upcoming things that Quagmire Films is doing that
Yes.
you guys are super excited about?
Well, the whole point was to eventually we want to greenlight our own stuff.
Right.
We want to have our own little crew of producers, money people that we
Yeah.
have contracts with and stuff like that. So right now we're just perfecting the craft. 'Cause we're all
Right.
producers, writers, actors, directors, everything. So we've all taken a crack at all of it. And our guy Luis Tovar, who's our DP director, he's award-winning. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And he's coveted. Actors are a dime a dozen. Forget actors. Crew, directors. You get a good director, a good DP, good sound, and
Yeah.
Yeah, someone that
You
can kind
don't-
of set the tone,
And
right?
you can pick five guys off the street and make a movie.
You can edit around a bad actor. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that person is no longer the lead.
Yeah, and I guess like just to have some fun with this. I mean, like, has there any been kind of experience on set that has just been so memorable or just so disastrous,
With Quagmire? Well,
or anything? I mean, just in general.
oh, there's so many. Like I worked on Goliath, the Billy Bob Thornton show.
Oh yeah.
And we shot, and then it got scrapped because there's a big, like, the executives got into a fight, and then they scrapped the show. They brought back the old ones from season 1, and they reshot everything. But I had a pretty crazy. I have a sex scene.
Oh, nice.
With his assistant, Tanya Raymond.
Right.
I don't know if I'm probably in trouble for saying
That's
that.
a great scene.
Yeah, it was all day.
Well, that's kind of interesting because I love Goliath. I thought that was a great show, but that kind of now actually sort of makes sense with me because during season 2, it always kind of felt like something was missing. And so you're saying they kind of just grabbed, like, they just filmed multiple episodes. They're kind of like Game of Thrones, I guess. They're just filming fake up pilots, real pilots, and all that kind of cool jazz.
Yeah, it was just weird. That was just that was probably the craziest day of my life.
Right. I mean, but that's so exciting, man. And like, I'm so stoked for you and where you're at in your career. And I just want to remind all the people out there that Daniel O'Reilly, he's going to be sticking with us because, we're going to be going right on into it because I want to remind all the listeners out there, you're listening to the Chris Collins Show, and we got actor Daniel O'Reilly, co-founder of Quagmire Filmz. And can you tell the listeners out there where can they follow you at and where they can follow Quagmire Filmz?
Well, get on the white Jafar train. I think it's gonna catch. Well,
maybe that should be your new Instagram
That should be the
handle.
2020.
Jafar?
That's gonna
Because
be
I
your
know on your
presidential.
Twitter account you have a lot of numbers. I thought you were getting rid of your phone number details.
I don't know how to tweet.
You don't know how to tweet?
Twit.
Come on, man. All you have to
Twitter.
do is do hashtag White Jafar, and then we can set the
And
whole
see
place
you
up.
guys got me?
I got you.
You guys will take care of
Not me.
Because I got like 60, 70 followers. I don't know the Twitter.
I know we gotta step up your game
No
big
Twitter.
time.
I know.
But you know what? We love you, man. This is actor Daniel O'Reilly. He is the actor with Adventures of Aladdin. He plays Jafar, and also follow him with Quagmire Filmz with the Z at the end. That's
Quagmire
the most
Filmz,
important thing. All right, this is the Chris Collins Show. Stick around. What's good, listeners? I'm the host of the Chris Collins Show, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button below and check us out at thechriscollinsshow.com. Peace.